Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
We are back, guys. UFC 321 from Abu Dhabi, Gane versus Aspinall for the heavyweight title. We wanted this to be John Jones, but here we are with Cyril Gane. This fight was supposed to happen multiple times. So yeah, I'm kind of happy to see how it plays. We'll talk about that and the full main card like we always do. Provide breakdowns, free picks, leans, price talk, value, fades, and more. Systemsportscapping.com or link.me/systemcapping for everything. System Capping. Head over there if you want to check it out. We got resume records, client opportunities, subscriptions, and everything system capping. Currently handicapping, guys, UFC, PGA, NFL, NHL, and MLB at lower volume. UFC, PGA, NFL are my higher volume sports that I handicap, not just a one sport handicapper, guys, like some out there. We get multiple volumes throughout the week on different sports. Pick my spots. Now, NHL and MLB, very low volume. Maybe a pick a week. MLB, I only had 8 bets all year. So that's very low volume. NHL will have more. So far, MLB 6-2. Handicapping MLB was just in the playoffs. That's where I think it's easier to handicap than a regular season game. That when there's 162 games, who cares about the one game? Playoffs a little different. Easier to handicap, in my opinion. So that's why I bet the MLB. We just cashed on the Seattle and Jays series. Blue Jays winner 120 there. We had some other winners in that series as well. NHL has been low volume so far in this year. 3-1, I believe. Yes. Let's do a UFC Vancouver recap, guys. Hats off to Brandon Allen. Got to give it to him, right? Now, I did mention I thought it was a good matchup for him due to his grappling and wrestling credentials. I thought that if it wasn't like a short notice fight, I would say, maybe he was more alive. From my first, reading and review of the fight, we just never seen De Ridder fight like that or have concerns like that on the ground. So it was very concerning. He must have been hurt is the only thing I can think of. You can tell now I'm still a little confused. We just did not see it, so I was not able to bet against him, right? If I'd never seen you gas out in a fight or have strength concerns on the ground and get out-grappled, out-muscled, and out-wrestled, it's hard to back, right? Even though I did think Brandon Allen had some good credentials. I did think he kind of matched up well against De Ridder. He was coming in on short notice, guys. So it was very hard to pull the trigger on Allen. I actually didn't bet De Ridder as a side. I did have the fight. Did I have the fight to go the distance? No, I did have De Ridder, sorry. Yes, I did have De Ridder in a money line parlay, which missed out. So yeah, it was a smaller unit. Now I remember. That's why I didn't remember. It wasn't a big unit on it. Yeah, I didn't see it happening. Hard to see Brandon Allen do that. A little shocking, to be honest. But if you look at the credentials, they were there. It's just a short notice and not seeing De Ridder gas like he did. He had to be hurt, right? That's the only thing I can think of. We did hit our main bet on the card, Malott and Holland over 1.5 rounds. That got there barely because Holland got hurt. He got kicked in the balls. I don't know what happened there, but that was scary because probably the bet would have been voided, to be honest. But that was a close call. So happy that one went over. Now the one bad beat, which made me not profit on the card, was Nelson. I had the fight to go the distance, parlayed with another bet that cashed. The fight was called off with 3 seconds left in the first round. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes I've seen from a ref. And we never really see it from him. I'm forgetting his name right now. Big, tall, bald guy. You never really see it from him. He's usually a fairly good ref. So that was very surprising. I haven't seen that ref do that. And he made another mistake too. I think he was in the Malott fight. Didn't deduct a point. It's a lot of concerns from him, and a lot of talk around the MMA community on him. So, yeah, tough night for him at the office, as they would say, and it ruins bets, right? It ruined from my card to being a very good profitable card to no profit at all. So, very surprising that fight even went the distance after. But I know why, right? Nelson gassed out trying to finish him, and Favola was able to get some wind and just lose a decision. So yeah, tough beat there when the ref makes a mistake and loses your bet. Hey, that's UFC at times. The goal is always to win long term, and that's what we do here. If you're watching on YouTube, guys, please like the video. It does help out a ton. Listen on Spotify or Apple, where most of my listeners are these days. Please review and share. Let's get right into it. Let's get right into this card. Shop around like I always say. It's important in the UFC. Books do vary. Aspinall minus 400 versus Gone plus 300. I would actually say the line is fairly accurate. Usually when lines are big like this, I tend to disagree. Here, I kind of agree. I think Aspinall has a clear path to this fight, and just take him down, submit him, TKO him. He's going to have a big wrestling and grappling advantage here, guys. We saw John Jones take Gone down very easily. We see Imavov in training. I don't know if you've seen those videos, but a 185er taking him down easily. You can't catch up, right? When someone's a kickboxer and mainly a striker, and you haven't been grappling all your life like most of these guys have, there's no catch up. You can get a little better, mainly at takedown defense, but there's no catching up to a long-term grappler like Aspinall. It just doesn't happen in 3 months or 5 months or even a year. You could get better, but you can't catch up, right, to a long-term grappler like Aspinall is. So, and I believe that's what happens here. I would be surprised if Aspinall goes to the game plan, oh, I want to strike with him and show him a better boxer. Not the better kickboxer and overall technical striker, but yeah, you can maybe say he's a better boxer in general, but this is not a boxing fight. So I would be surprised if he decides to just stand and bang with him. Of course he could hurt Gone on the feet, but Gone does have very good striking defense. And then you're going to play into his game that maybe he could catch you with a big shot. So be smart. Just take down this fight. Use your TKO or submission. I'm debating between these two. I don't mind the minus 400 fit in a 2-5 parlay, but an outcome would be, I would lean more to a TKO submission. It's one or the other. I would lean more submission, guys, because he probably wants to show up John Jones. That's the only thing I can think of with a nicer submission. So that's the only thing I can lean here. But yeah, Aspinall's the play all day, guys, right? The takedown defense have gone just terrible, 43%. So why not just take him down? Don't try to get cute here, Aspinall. Please don't. Right? I know you had a year and a half almost off. Is that a concern? That's the only concern I have here. The year, and if this fight goes to like 3, 4, 5, there is somewhat of concern because we haven't seen it from Aspinall. But he's been training a ton, guys. I don't think his cardio is a concern, to be honest. So, yes, the only thing I give Gone is he's been there before, like in deep fights, right? He's been to 5 rounds a bunch of times. So that's the only thing I can give him here. You could say maybe the better technical, like, kickboxer, but I don't think it's going to play out there. I think he'll be on the ground where Gone is very weak. And also you have concerns with Gone. How much is he really focused into this? He does movies and it just seems like he doesn't love the sport. He's just good at the sport. That's my opinion. And yeah, I think Tom kind of just runs through him, in my opinion. So Tom will be the play here. Outcome lean submission, but the TKO is live as well. So keep that in mind here, guys. Co-main event. Dern minus 160 versus Janarova plus 130. You know, first line I say, yeah, I had Dern as a minus 120 favorite. So there is value here on Janarova, and if I had to bet it, but I don't, I am going to be staying away from this fight, guys. I would lean the plus 130 value bet on Janarova. But I have concerns. One, UFC really wants Dern to be the champion. If this goes the decision, I believe Dern, they somehow, if it's a close decision, they got to give her the belt. UFC really wants her to have her the belt. Think about it, right? Dern has the belt, a lot of following already. It's going to bring more eyes, pretty girl, and all that, right? It just fits the UFC. They want. They don't want Janarova to have the belt. Let's be honest here, guys. right? Janaroba, remember, these two fought already. This was back in 2020. I don't factor in that too much into the handicap, but Dern did win the fight. Now, I think Janaroba is going to have a clear wrestling advantage here, and I think she's going to get down Dern, but what does Dern do with it, right? Is she going to be held down? Her grappling is better, so she's going to be able to have submission attempts off her back. She should be active off her back, probably will throw elbows, etc. It's rare that I say Dern has a striking advantage, but I do believe she might have a striking advantage in this fight. Very rare thing to say. But Janaroba, it's just her volume is very concerning. All she does is really try to look for takedowns, doesn't really throw a ton. Under 2, guys. It's very concerning, especially in a 5-round fight. How much you can be able to get this fight down to the ground and just wrestle. You're going to get gas. Continue to do that throughout the fight. So I'll be staying away from this fight, like I mentioned, guys. I could easily see it going 5 rounds, because I don't believe there will be a finish from the Janaroba side. I believe a finish would come from a Dern side, and it would be a submission. So a submission is live for Dern. That's the only way I could probably bet this fight. If I wanted to have some fun and put like an outcome prop Dern by submission. But the price is probably not good enough to do so. So, yeah, I'll be staying away from this one. I expect it to go somewhat deep unless Dern finds a submission. Expect Janaroba to wrestle a lot. Could she win the fight by just wrestling? Maybe find a TKO submission? A TKO finish? It is possible. I'm just not too keen on this fight, and you can kind of see I'm going back and forth here. So I'll be staying away from a side. Lean the fight to go somewhat deep. Submission prop on Dern is live if the fight is finished. Janaroba, a little value at plus 130. Nurmagomedov, guys, minus 600. Yikes. I just have minus 400. I do my lines before, like you guys know. Batista plus 450. Just no love for Batista. Continues to get no love. I get it. I do believe Nurmagomedov should win this fight. He's going to have a big wrestling advantage. Should be able to get this fight down to the ground. We've seen Batista get taken down multiple times. Now, what I noticed from Batista, he gets taken down, but he's very good at getting up. He doesn't hold position down there too often. Now, Nurmagomedov is probably going to be one of the best wrestlers he's fought. So we're going to see what plays out here, right? I actually see on the feet they're fairly similar. I don't think there's a clear advantage for anyone on the feet. I think it's going to be very competitive if it does stay there. However, I believe Nurmagomedov just tries to get the fight down to the ground. That's what he should do. He's going to have an advantage there. And I can see him either getting a submission or this fight just going to decision. So Nurmagomedov by decision would be live. Batista has shown to be very durable. However, we have seen him, finished in the past. It was a while ago, though, so keep that in mind. I think this is a perfect fight for Umar to get back on track. After the Merab loss, he got hurt in that fight. Training camp over in Abu Dhabi. He's there with Habib and company, and there's a few other guys on this card, so they're focused and locked in. Anatomy of a Fighter I watch. Saw their training camp. Their training camp's always crazy, but it's just a great matchup for him. A great spot, more than a matchup, in my opinion. I believe he can get Batista down at will, and I think that's where he wins this fight. Batista's takedown defense, if you want to know, stats-wise, 67%. Not terrible, not good, though. So I believe that's where Umar wins this fight. He's going to win either by a submission or decision prop. Almeida minus 188 versus Volkov plus 162. And like I said, the Dern fight with Janaroba, I think there's value there. I think there's a little more value here, plus 162. Only way I can look at this fight would to play Volkov, plus 162, guys. Now, Almeida is live to get this fight down to the ground, just wrestle and get a submission. But the longer this fight goes, favor Volkov. Volkov's the better striker. So if he can keep it standing, Volkov has improved his wrestling. It continues to improve. But Almeida, yes, he is a grappling specialist. So if he gets his fight down to the ground, he is live to get the submission. And it could come quickly, just in front of your eyes, just like that. So there is you're taking some chances with Volkov here. I get it. But I just think there's value at plus 160. He's been there, done that, been to bigger fights, has a better resume. Should have beat Gane, in my opinion. I thought he won that fight. But here we are with Gane and Aspinall. So I wouldn't put a big unit on it. Um, but Volkov will be the play for podcast purposes here. Almeida is alive to get that submission. But like I said, Almeida does gas late. If Volkov could just avoid this submission and let this fight play out on the feet, go deeper into the fight, Almeida will gas later into this fight. So I think there is some value at this price at plus 162, guys. Last one we'll talk about here, guys. It's a tough one. It's a tough one to call. Rakic minus 110 versus Mirzakarov minus 110. The line tells you that, right? Right. The Russian we know, right? Heavy hands, right? Running through the division, but running through guys that are very low level. Now, Rakic been fighting the best of the best, right? His losses are against Yan, Yuri, and Ankalaev, guys. Best of the best. So how good really is Rakic, right? We know how he fights. He has a ton of power on the feet, heavy leg kicks, but just not durable. And he just can't go long in fights. The Russian has shown he can go deep in fights. He hasn't been great at times, but he usually does find a finish. He does have a decision or two under his belt, though, too. But he does come for the finish. Both guys kind of do, right? So I would be a little surprised if this goes the distance, but maybe not, because sometimes when these two power guys go head-to-head, both guys have power guys, you do see kind of them to be hesitant, more cautious, and the fight kind of is boring. We've seen Rakic in boring fights before. We could kind of see that here. Right? If you want to go back to the Russians' wins, I'll quickly go over the resume. Devin Clark, Menefield, Jacoby, Ribeiro. It's low level. So you don't really know how he's going to approach this fight. The thing with Rakic, been in wars, been banged up in fights, gets injured a lot. So very tough fight to call, guys. What I'm going to do is actually lean the over 1.5. I think they kind of play out on the feet and they are cautious and avoid the big power shots, right? It's kind of hard to see either guy get finished early in this fight. I think if there's a finish, it would be later into the fight. So I'll lean that over 1.5 here. That will be my favorite play in this fight. That will do it, guys. That will do it. UFC's back in Abu Dhabi. I think they're at least twice a year now. They got an obligation, probably a contract over there. UFC get big bucks from them. Remember, afternoon card, guys, so look out for that. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy this card.